And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Monday, August 19th. I am the host for today's program, Paul Domain, and many of the stories right here can be found in our publication, News from Indian Country, or online at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. A newly released video captures the first fleeting images of an indigenous tribe living in Brazil's Amazon jungle that is thought to have had very little contact with the outside world. The images show several members of the Kawahaiva tribe walking through dense foliage, naked men carrying bows and arrows, and a woman totes a child on her back. The woman runs away after noticing the camera, and one man briefly doubles back to investigate. Loggers first reported the existence of the Kawahaiva in 1999. A reservation was created last year in the western state of Mato Grosso, but the members of the tribe still face grave threats from loggers and farmers. The video was shot in 2011, but released only during this month. The St. Regis Mohawk tribe says a federal judge's rejection of its federal land claim for 2,000 acres in northern New York was muddled, failing to answer whether the Hogansburg Triangle is rightfully part of the reservation under a 1796 treaty. The tribe says U.S. District Judge Lawrence Kahn, who concluded last week that his court lacks jurisdiction over state and local building codes, licensing laws, and taxes, answered a question that was never asked. Spokesman Benjamin Herney says the tribe and members will continue to refuse to comply with state and local laws on land they believe is part of the reservation and not subject to those laws. He says they're committed to pursuing long-term resolution of land and jurisdictional issues in a negotiated settlement with state and local governments for the region. The unsolved death of a 21-year-old lame deer woman on the Northern Cheyenne Indian Reservation in southwestern Montana last month prompted a rally in which as many as 200 people marched through lame deer and demanded justice for victims of unsolved murders on American Indian reservations nationwide. Hannah Harris went missing early on July 4th, and her body was found 4 days later along Muddy Creek, a few miles from where her car has been found. FBI spokeswoman Patricia Spielman says the agency is awaiting toxicology results to determine the exact cause of death. But Melinda Harris Limberhand is convinced her daughter was killed. Limberhand said it was out of character for her daughter to leave her 11-month-old son for such a long period of time. The Billings Gazette reports a lack of information about Harris's case resulted in last week's Justice for Hannah rally. Suffolk has transferred about 77 acres to the Nansemond tribe for creation of a replica 17th century Indian village and cultural center. The property is located in Lone Star Lakes Park just off a Nansemond River. The Nansemond originally lived at the site. Chief Barry Bass tells the Virginian Pilot that the tribe feels a spiritual connection to the site. Suffolk officials transferred the land to the tribe earlier this month. The replica village will be called Matanock Town. The tribe hopes that it will become a tourism destination to complement Jamestown. Bass says he hopes the project can be completed within 5 years. Wisconsin wildlife officials will start deciding this week which hunters and trappers will get a wolf permit. The Department of Natural Resources in Wisconsin has set this year's quota at 275 wolves. The state's Chippewa tribes have laid claim to 24 wolves, leaving 251 available for non-tribal hunters and trappers. The DNR has established a 10-to-1 permit-to-wolf ratio. That means the agency will issue 2,510 permits. A total of 12,108 hunters and trappers have applied for a permit, down from 17,377 applicants for last year's inaugural hunt. The DNR will award the permits through a lottery set on August 22nd. Applicants not selected earn a preference point that improves their chances in next year's drawing. Ancient rock etchings along a dried-up lake bed in Nevada have been confirmed to be the oldest recorded petroglyphs in North America, dating back at least 10,000 years. The petroglyphs found on limestone boulders near Pyramid Lake in northern Nevada's high desert are similar to design etchings found at a lake in Oregon that are believed to be at least 7,600 years old. Unlike later drawings that sometimes depict a spear or antelope, the carvings are abstract with tightly clustered geometric designs. Some are diamond patterns, others have short parallel lines on top of a longer line. Scientists can't tell for sure who carved them, but they were found on the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe's reservation land. The petroglyphs could be as much as 14,800 years old, said Larry Benson, a geochemist who used radiocarbon testing to date the etchings and was the lead author of the research paper. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say miigwech for joining with us, and come back again soon.